say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to an amazing evening here at the Rose League. It is the Gold Finals for Gold Division here in Rose League Season 2. I'm your caster, Captain Jack, with Dr. Heathen on the color/producer role this evening, as we are kind of out of our element, actually, casting on Sundays. How you doing, Dr. Heathen?
I'm doing pretty well. Trying not to be overwhelmed by everything that's going on.
You got it,
looks
ma'am.
like everything's good. Looks like we are a go on everything at the moment.
All right, well, let's switch over to our first match. Ilios Ruins is going to be our first matchup between Pups Academy and Kings Row Saints in the final match of Gold Division for this season. It looks like we've got the Widow and Genji composition coming out for the side of Kings Row Saints, while Pups Academy is coming out with the Widow Junkrat. So they're looking to do some major damage on the objective. One team's got Dive, that's Kings Row. The other side coming in with the traditional Ryan Zarya. Both teams got an Ana. So, well, we've got some interesting compositions coming in here. Let's go ahead and see what these teams are going to come out with. Who's going to get the first pick as they start moving their way into the Ilios Ruins. We're going to find Storm R7 getting caught a little bit out of position. Almost got booped over the side of the map, but is going to hold on and work their way back into the objective. Looking to get that DMAC. Going to be successful. Ends up getting the kill on Shock and the DMAC onto Snow right there. And that's going to be an objective capture for Pups Academy as Snowbrit goes over the side. Krev's going to take out Lavender on the Widow. And that is going to be a hold right there. It looks like we have the teams flipped in spawn. So after this match, Dr. Heathen will have to swap that in the feed for them. Don't worry, folks. We'll take care of it.
Oh, sorry. Kings Row on left?
Yep, Kings Row's on left tonight. No worries. We got in the lobby very late, so we didn't have time to switch things up. We wanted to bring you the action more so than make sure that everything is 100%.
Hold on.
They go ahead and move their way back in. Shatter ends up coming in and getting absorbed by Paragon, who is now swapped over with Snowbrit, as Krev ends up getting the shot onto Lavender and Aerosmith right there. That's going to continue to allow them to hold on to the objective. Here comes the Tire out from Dash. That Tire's dashing, looking to get the double onto Snowbrit and Whale. That's going to be a continued hold, 60% and climbing right now for the side of Pups Academy. Got a minute there, Dr. Heathen?
Yeah, I do. Just trying to figure out which team. So I think they were telling me to swap with Kings Row is on right.
Nope, Kings Row's on left. They're on blue.
Huh.
Is that the way you got it set up in the stream?
Yeah, and they're telling me Kings Row on left was wrong. But anyways, fight's begun. My bad. Trying to figure this out.
Sure has. So let's go ahead and get back into it. They're moving their way in. But Paragon having a hard time going up against Storm right now. Here comes the Graviton with the counter Shatter out from Paragon as Aerosmith ends up getting taken out by Krev once again. Dash coming out with the Tire, takes down Whale, 99% and counting, as Lavender now on the Sombra looking to do some damage on the objective, ends up getting getting moved out of the point. Here comes the EMP. Only gets one as Useless takes Lavender out of the fight, and Dash follows up on Shock. And first point on Helios gonna go to Pups Academy.
So we're 100% on the Kings Row on the left?
Kings Row is on the left, yes.
Okay, well, I could switch it back to the way it was.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the lobby as Kings Row on left, Pups on right.
Cool. So, just want to break down that I did everything right. Okay, cool.
No
So
it's all right. Everybody always has something to say.
So 99-0. That was a really dominant performance, but it is Ilios. It is the first point, and it's compositions that we're probably not going to see on the rest of the map because Widowmaker is so dominant on that point, and that they kind of built up both their teams around the idea of playing the Widowmaker. Going into the rest of these points, I don't expect that to be as effective, and it's going to be exciting to see what these teams can flex onto in these next few matches.
Well, I know for if we end up going well, both teams are probably going to swap over to the Orisa Roadhog. That's something we see very commonly when we go to Helios well. If we go to Lighthouse, though, there's kind of always a toss-up. Sometimes you continue to see that Ryan Zarya play. Sometimes you see that that dive composition on the objective. Sometimes, I mean, we are in Gold Division, so you might see a Symmetra. Like, there's so many different things that could be going on. In this match. And right now, I'm actually trying to figure out what is going on with our teams. We got a pause, but there's nobody missing from either team, at least from what I can see. Oh, it looks like they're having issues in the Discord channel. So, I mean, we're not having issues, so they shouldn't be, ideally. So, I guess while we wait, so just so you know, these folks have been head-to-head throughout the entire season. I'm going to actually go back to the leaderboards because I really want to make sure that I've got this right. Because as of week 6, I believe they were 5-1, and that was the last time the leaderboard was actually updated. So let me go ahead and...
I believe Pups Academy, just going off of memory, not even looking at it, I believe Pups Academy is ahead in score, but Kings Row Saints won the match versus Pups Academy during week 6.
Yes, that is true. I am seeing that right now. Kings Row Saints won against Pups. Oh, that's why there's only 6, because it's only 6 weeks. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, but why does it say Kings Row Saints has a loss then? That doesn't.
Do they not have a loss?
It says that they're 5-1. Does a bye count as an automatic loss? I would think that would count as a win. Interesting. Because all the Kings Row Saints matches are showing up green.
Yeah, they are. Wait, what?
Interesting. Except for week 1, where Kings Row Saints doesn't seem to be anywhere. Oh no, here we go.
Is one of the teams... No, they... Kings Row won week 7. I think there might have been... The name wasn't updated from week 1?
Maybe. I don't know. But...
Because there's 7 teams. Kings Row isn't there. Nebula, Talon, Team Silence, Pups...
Nevertheless, Kings Row Saints won against Pups Academy during week 6. So, that's huge. That's like an absolute huge thing we got going on for this evening. So, Pups Academy really going to have to hold well based on how things are going this time around. Are we still paused?
Yeah, we are.
What is
I go back into checker once.
Come on, folks. All right, we're good to go. We're getting unpaused. We're ready to go. All right, so I want to take another look at the Constitution because I want to make sure that we're doing tonight right. Because I believe tonight is the best of 4? Best of 4 or best of 3?
What? Oh, are we not on a best of 7?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it's... sorry.
You're saying best of 4, first to 4?
Yeah, first to 4. That's
okay.
Right.
I'll take that. Yeah, I think so.
All right. So that's... Well, we're headed to Well, and they're getting started. So it looks like one team is coming out with a dive comp, another team coming out with the Ryan Zarya. So Ryan Zarya coming out for the side of Kings Row Saints. Dive composition coming out for the side of Pups Academy.
Are they?
Both these compositions really interesting.
They're swapping it up.
Because it was not expected. This
Kings-
was not an expected positioning.
No, I mean they're swapping it right now. Kings Row walked all the way back to the spawn room to switch up this composition. They don't even want to face the fur right now with doubts.
Looking in the chat, it says Cusco's Poison. They came in with a loss when they took over for a different team. So technically, Kings Row Saints is undefeated.
Okay.
As they came in and took over for another team, so they got a loss, I guess, based on whatever that team's score was before.
Yeah.
But based on how Pups Academy is playing right now, they may be quite successful as we see Kings Row Saints swapping over to a dive composition of their own. I gotta be honest with you, this was not something I expected to see on Helios Well. Like, this is supposed to be Boop Central. And here comes the barrage already out from Dash, getting the double kill onto Whale and Shock. That's both healers down as Krev coming in on the Tracer ends up taking down Aerosmith in the back line right there. Also getting the D-Mech onto Snowbrit right there. That's going to go ahead and shut down that push at 50% and climbing for the side of Pups Academy. Now, I got to say, if Pups Academy did win this match against Kings Row Saints, this isn't saying much. They were a 3-1 in the matchup that they had against Kings Row Saints. So the question is going to be, if Pups Academy did win the control point the first time around, will they be able to make their way around this time as well? As the Nano comes in from Useless onto Storm, looking to do some damage, ends up taking down Lavender and Whale as they push them all the way back to spawn using the Primal Raid. Milk ends up getting the kill onto Snowbrit as Storm makes their way back to the point. Milk ends up getting slept, but is quite far away. The defense coming in from Dash to keep them up in the fight to prevent them from being attacked. As we see, the trap ends up getting disabled, 97%, and climbing right now for Pups Academy. Diva Bomb coming in for Milk. It doesn't end up getting much of anything as Prep ends up getting Lavender in the back line right there. The Primal ends up coming out for Paragon, trying to hold on as long as possible as Aerosmith and Snowbrit ends up getting the double on the point. Dash ends up getting the kill with the tire onto Whale as Peachy Bon ends up bringing back Useless into the fight. The Diva Bomb comes down as Milk ends up getting sent straight into the well. And at the 99% mark, we're finally going to see Kings Row Saints go ahead and take over the objective here on Helios Well.
And immediately in response to that, they're swapping out their entire composition. Once again, they're going to a Rhine composition against Dive, and they're going to back it up with this Far Mercy. They did swap off the Mercy for a moment since she lost her ult charge, but they're changing things up mid-match, and I like to see that.
Well, if it works, it works, but you usually don't want to see a Rhine Zarya on this objective. That's why I'm kind of surprised by this. Here comes the Blade, though, out from Aerosmith, ends up taking down Useless, but the Pulse Bomb out from Krev ends up finding Aerosmith mid-blade as Milk gets the kill onto Paragon. Snowbrit ends up taking down Storm. The Rev's going to come in for Storm as Lavender takes down Milk, and Dash gets the kill onto Snowbrit, 45% and climbing, but soon to be swapped right back over as Lavender and Shock try to hold on to the objective. Paragon swapping over to the Hammond just to be able to get onto the objective quickly. Krev's going to end up taking down Lavender with the punch kill, as well as the boost, 99% now as Pups Academy retakes control of the objective. Snowbrit currently in Mini Diva form on the objective as we see a Whale come back in as the Moira to try to get that speed into the objective. Kref gets the punch kill as Milk follows up on Snowbrit. Here comes the Shatter down from Storm, but ends up getting booped out by Shock, missed the Shatter. And here comes the Pulse Bomb out from Lavender, ends up taking down Useless. Overtime barrage coming out. Dash ends up taking down Shock, and that is going to be the game. Pups Academy gonna walk away with the first win of the evening here on Helios. Playing the game, going to Dash on that Junkrat. And everything's coming up exploding. There's that Bat Shatter with the Graviton, but did not prevent Dash from getting a couple kills there at the end that really held the point for them. 10,800 hero damage, while Paragon blocking 7,000 damage on the Winston during that fight. Unfortunately, it just was not enough for Kings Row Saints to be able to hold on to that. Pups Academy gonna go ahead and walk away with the first win of the evening here on Helios. And right now I see the chat is crying. Is crying right now. So I know where the love is. The love is apparently for Kings Row right now. I do see some love for Pups. There is some Pups love in there, but mostly I'm seeing a lot of love for Kings Row Saints. So what do you think about that, Dr. Ethan? You think based on Kings Row Saints' previous performance that they'll be able to bring it back?
Okay. I mean, based on previous performance, they're expected to win this. Pups Academy should sort of be the underdog in this scenario. So, I mean, based off previous performances, Kings Row Saints should be able to bring it back. But Pups Academy looked really dominant, and they looked really well organized on that fight. They had a great swap, switching over to a Reinhardt-based composition when they needed to, which made a lot of value for them. I'm going to talk about Eusalis' sleep. Anna got killed by the Dragon Blade, but managed to sleep the Genji anyways, which is what set up for that Pulse Bomb kill, which was absolutely amazing. And just huge plays like that. Pups Academy are looking really strong right now, and it's going to be challenging for Kings Row if Pups keeps performing the way they're performing.
All right, well, let's go ahead and look in the chat. I see it. Still some crying emojis coming out from Merrick's, as well as Sarah in the chat saying, "Shock, you got this." So some love for the Saints, but we do see some love coming out from Dash and Draconic Vortex for the Saints and for the Pups Academy as well, saying that they've got this. Draconic saying they win the next game's easy. GG easy. So I don't know about that. That they have definitely set up for quite a matchup. And note, tonight is the best of like first to 4. So we could be seeing 7 maps this evening. It looks like our next map, and actually one thing that I don't know about when it comes to this is the pool choices. I think it's open, isn't it? It's any map for finals, because I don't see.
I don't know. I just work here,
and I know, right? I don't see any rules on that. I don't see any. It doesn't seem like there's any preference or whatnot to it. So it seems that they can essentially just pick from whatever. And since the next map needs to be not hybrid, but escort. So let me go ahead and get them to correct that.
Or is Eichenwald not an eligible map? Has to be escort?
Well, Eichenwald is hybrid.
Yeah, okay.
It would be eligible for the next map, but this map should be an escort map. We're following the pattern.
Yeah, that makes.
Because it goes in the 7, based on how I saw it set up in OBS, it's supposed to be control. It's supposed to be the way the rest of the season went: control, escort, hybrid, assault, and then if we go past map 4, it goes to control, escort, and then control again for the tiebreaker. So, as crazy as that is.
Okay, wait. So we have control, escort,
control, escort, hybrid,
assault,
attack, assault,
control, escort, control. Okay, so we have 3 control maps potentially.
Yes. Because control and escort are the only maps that cannot be tied on. So
you say that. If no one pushes the payload at all on escort. You can get a draw.
All right, so it looks like our next map is going to be Dorado. Been a huge pick for a majority of teams during the second half of the season. So we will definitely be seeing, more than likely, some snipers. We might see Bunker. Bunker has been really popular, especially with the release of Batiste. And I don't know necessarily in Gold Division because it's been a hot minute since I've seen them play. But especially in the divisions above that, at least based on the way that both these teams are playing, we may be seeing some Bunker, may see some double sniper compositions. Honestly, it's really hard to tell what is going to come out for this as we go ahead and set up here on Dorado. Draconic Vortex in the chat saying, well, Sarah at first saying Kings Row is going to dominate. You guys have this. Draconic saying, I mean, dominate is a harsh word. Annihilate, I prefer. So I would not count your eggs before they're hatched. If I know anything about how this season has gone, just because they lost their previous match with Kings Row does not mean that they could find themselves doing that again. I would hope that they have learned from their mistakes. So we will definitely see what they're coming out with. It looks like Pups Academy looking to go with the basic 2-2-2, coming out with the Rhine Zarya from Milk and Storm. Krev and Dash coming out on the Tracer and Junkrat. Dash was doing an amazing job on the Junk during the fights on Ilios, and Useless and Newt coming out on the Ana and Lucio. For the side of Kings Row Saints, it looks like we got Paragon and Harmu on the Rhine Zarya as well, going triple heals with Aerosmith, Shock, and Whale on the Brig, Lucio, and Zenyatta, and Lavender taking up the solo DPS on Soldier 76.
Well, Soldier's kind of a healer when you think about it. You know?
True.
He's got that pot. It's kind of quad healer if we wanna say that.
Almost, but in that case, you could also say that Whale or Aerosmith are also DPS, because they put out a lot of damage as well. So let's see how they play this out. It looks like they're going to try to hold the high ground right now, as Newt trying to boop everybody away off the high ground, or at least keep them distracted, as the payload just easily moving past Choke within the first 30 seconds. We're going to see Paragon and the rest of the team go ahead and move their way around, as Whale, currently sleeping on the high ground in the backline, ends up getting caught by Krev, but the recall going to go ahead and bring them back to point, as Dash ends up getting the concussion mine kill onto Arrow. That payload is moving quickly and fervently as Storm gets taken out of the fight by Lavender, but Krev ends up taking down Whale. Here comes the tire out from Dash, ends up getting out Harmu very quickly. It's a 4v5 fight, or 4v3 fight rather, on the objective right now as they go ahead and continue to push forward. Shock trying to hold everything together, but Krev ends up taking down Paragon. Dash follows up on Lavender, and the Sleep Dart gonna prevent Aerosmith from getting to the objective as Krev takes him down with a punch. That's going to go ahead and solidify objective 1, 5 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock, as we see Pups Academy go ahead and move their way into objective number 2.
Yeah, and off of that, it doesn't look like Kings Row Saints have a lot of ultimates to work with in this next objective. They really have to do this off of Earthshatter alone.
Well, there comes the Earth Shatter, ends up taking down 2. The anti-nade comes in, but gets bubbled out as Whale gets the kill onto Milk. Here comes the Nano onto Storm, looking to pick up the slack if at all possible. But as the solo tank, going to be hard to continue on, trying to get that Discord bubble off of them if at all possible. Harmu ends up getting slapped as Storm gets the tackle onto Paragon. We're going to see the Shatter ends up coming out from Storm as the beat drop comes in from Newt as well. The tire looking to climb up the wall, get some kills. doing some damage, gets the double onto Harmu and Lavender as the payload moving fervently into objective number 2. Storm and the rest of the team are just not letting anything hold them down right now. 4 minutes on the clock, and that's objective number 2, folks. They're pushing it right through. 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock as they move their way into objective number 3 as Lavender finally getting a kill onto Dash and Storm.
Yeah, this fight just isn't letting up. They're not giving one moment of rest. They're still going at it right now. We do see Nano Boost online from Pups Academy, but it looks like they might actually be falling off as I'm saying that.
Yep.
They need to wait for their main tank to come back, and they lose Krev on the reset, which means that they're going to have to wait even longer for that to come back around. And during that time, Paragon's basically built up his Earth Shatter. It's going to be difficult for Pups to find some value this fight based on how many ultimates they're down.
It depends on how well Storm's been doing right now. Storm has been blocking a lot more of the Earth Shatters coming out from Paragon than vice versa. Oh, but right there, the boop up in the air ends up counting my statement worth a hill of beans as Shock and Aerosmith end up getting kills on Storm and Krev, pushing back the rest of the team as they go ahead and separate. That's another 30 seconds wasted off the clock as Paragon and the rest of the team continue to hold objective number 3 hostage with only 29 meters pushed on the payload.
Yeah, but they blew a couple of their ultimates that fight. They lost the ult advantage, but they're still just about even. It's going to be up to Newt to build that sound barrier fast enough to beat out Harmu's Graviton.
Oh, well, there comes the Graviton and the Tire, looking to do some damage, but it doesn't seem to get anybody as Paragon gets the tackle on Storm, and Harmu takes down Newt. That's going to go ahead and clean up the team once again. Useless able to get the kill on Paragon, at least, so they will have that in their favor, but only for a short while as the spawn advantage is in favor of the Kings Row Saints right now as they continue to hold on. We're going to see Storm and the rest of the team move their way back in. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right now, and we are now seeing why Kings Row Saints might have pulled out that 3-1 as we see the pulse bomb going to the back line from Crab, ends up not landing as Dash gets the kill onto Aerosmith. Here comes the high noon out from Lavender, wearing out essentially both of the beat drops that came out, and here comes the Nano into the Graviton that ends up getting shut down by the Trans. There goes the Tire into the backline, gets the double, with Storm taking down Paragon as well as Harmu. Payload moving in, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Storm comes out with the Shatter, trying to prevent everyone from touching as Shock the only one on the objective right now, and the payload's gonna find its way safely into objective 3 with just about 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that's a really good push from Pups Academy. They haven't lost their momentum off of the first map, and I thought they were going to be the underdogs going into this, but no, it looks like Kings Row Saints is really struggling to match Pups on what they're doing. They were able to hold for a few minutes there at that choke point, but just time went by. They didn't have the ultimates that they needed, and they got caught a little bit off foot there, and Pups Academy pulled out a beautiful fight and were able to cap the point. Definitely well done from them so far. It's on Kings Row to find some way to beat this Pups Academy lineup.
It has definitely been working out for them, but based on what we saw from Kings Row Saints there at the end, they were actually able to hold a very good defense, because I've had matches where, you know, you have to hold that final defense rather than holding those earlier ones, and they were showing to shut them down quite frequently. The question is, will they be able to do that on the assault as well? It looks like they are going with a GOATS composition with the Brig, as Aerosmith goes ahead and pops onto the Brig. For this time around, it looks like Crab's going to come out with the Western Queen herself, Ash, going to be calling in some Bob action as the rest of the team goes ahead and stays on the roles that they have. 7 seconds on the clock as the doors get ready to unlock, as the chat goes ahead and blows up with the nose as it catches up with the stream right now. Was that a sleep dart?
Yeah.
Ended up getting Paragon already?
Yep, right through the
man,
cracks.
Paragon, you better be careful. Holy goodness. Payload already moving fervently forward. 3 minutes 40 seconds on the clock as Paragon currently burning with the rest of the Kings Row Saints. We're going to end up finding the rest of the Pups Academy go ahead and move their way down. Paragon gets the tackle onto Newt as the Dynamite takes down Aerosmith from Krev. Lavender and Paragon follow up on Dash and Storm as Shock ends up taking down Milk. And it looks like we're seeing a repeat of how Pups Academy pushed through this objective. The question is, can Pups Academy hold an equally fervent defense either earlier than last point or on the last point? Because right now, they're seeming to be tied up on the attack with Kings Row Saints. And they're going to go ahead and start moving into objective number 2. Payload getting ready to start moving. As the Dynamite ends up missing the team, here comes the Shatter out from Storm, ends up taking down 2. Here comes the Tire, looking to get somebody, but Lavender ends up taking it out before it does damage. The Nano going on to Storm, looking to take down Paragon, but the beat drop coming in from Shock is going to keep them in the fight. Arrow is going to end up coming out with the rally, as well as Dash takes down Paragon finally, and that's going to go ahead and push them all the way back to Spawn right now, wearing down some time from this objective. Whale gonna find themselves taken out of the fight by Krev. 4 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock as they go ahead and wait for the reset.
Yeah, that was the scary point where Goat's composition had a bunch of ultimates to work with, and now that they're not at that situation anymore, it's gonna be a lot more challenging for Kings Row Saints to move forward. They really need to get this Grav Diva Bomb combo to work, or it's gonna be curtains.
It could be. It definitely could be. Armu. Oh, Dash coming in with the Tire. Graviton Tire gets the double onto Paragon and Aerosmith. Harmu also falling to Storm as Kreb takes out Whale with that shot, and the Dynamite getting shocked as well. That's going to shut down that push. 2 ultimates used, but now the rest of their team's ultimates on the line as we hit the 4-minute mark in this objective. They're now finding themselves in a very difficult position, trying to build up those ultimates so that they can get in. We've got they now have the Shatter, but ends up getting wasted into Storm Shield as the Graviton now comes out. Here comes Bob, looking to do some damage as Lavender comes in with the Diva Bomb. Doesn't end up getting much of anything. Bob protected by the bubble from Milk as the Dash ends up getting Paragon in the backline after the charge. That might not be enough as Whale ends up coming in with the Transcendence, holding the team together as much as possible. Lavender currently on the high ground, trying to prevent Dash or Crab from getting any shots. Here comes the Tire, getting in the backline, gets the double kill, ends up taking down Armu and Shock, but the payload still moving fervently forward. The Newt, the only one on the objective right now, as Lavender takes down Crab and Newt falls to Whale. They're going to be pushing that objective right into objective number 2, but it looks like it may be stalled out. Storm ends up getting taken down by Whale. Milk trying to come in and stall as well, but Paragon ends up taking Milk out of the equation, and it looks like you might as well get Milk some cookies, as now we need a pause. Donna. Donna. Donna.
Yeah.
Donna. Donna. Donna.
Yeah, another pause.
Where is it?
No idea.
Okay, I don't know. Somebody's lately I've been seeing more lags than I've been seeing DCs. So
Just nobody calling out the reason for the pause?
Nope, not really. So
okay.
Go ahead and tell me what you've been seeing, Dr. Heathen.
So last engagement, I wanted to... Gosh, I feel like Pups Academy had every chance to win that last engagement because it wasn't played perfectly. That being said, we're pausing again.
Yep. We're going back into the fight. Go ahead.
So Pups Academy had a lot of opportunity to win that because Kings Row Saints messed up a bunch of things on that engagement. They still managed to win it, but I felt like if the Diva Bomb came out a little bit earlier, that would have been just a clean 1 fight with no chance for the opponent to contest.
It probably could have been, but Lavender really been focusing on the DPS while the rest of the team focuses on pushing the payload. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Oh, quad kill coming out from Lavender as the payload pushes in. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right now. Shock and Whale, the only one that have ultimates online as Team Kill rings forward. That's going to be an extra 40 seconds rather. As they go ahead and push into objective number 3. Wow! I did not see that one coming.
Teach me to criticize Diva Bombs, I guess. What I talk about being a little late, he pulls it out perfectly, manages to hit 4.
Lavender was just saying, "Hold my beer," after you said that. Like, badly placed Diva Bomb, hold my beer. Throw this quad in. It was just perfect timing, though. Everybody was fighting on the objective. Storm saw the Diva Bomb, but it was too high in the sky for the positioning of the shield. Honestly, if the shield was in the right position, the only one it would have ended up protecting was Storm. Still would have been a triple, still probably would have been a team wipe by the end of it all. Would have gave them a little bit more fight, but honestly, this is probably what we were going to end up seeing now. With having the lower time bank, 2 minutes 40 seconds, we're going to see Pups Academy back on the attack once again. And looking in the chat, everyone that has been cheering on Kings Row Saints is blowing it up. Massive, huge, let's go, fat, Pog champs, Poggers, Nabs. I don't know how to say that, Sarah, but I'll do my best. As we see Dash getting some air right there. I'm pretty impressed by that. It looks like Krev gonna stay on the Ash for this objective push, despite the fact that it didn't really seem to work out in their favor to hold them off on the final defense. Lavender and the rest of the team trying to get Dash off of the high ground as we see Paragon charge into Storm in the back line, but Storm counters with a charge of their own. Krev ends up getting the dynamite on to Shock and taking them out of the fight right now, but the battle is far from over as we see the charge in from Paragon, ends up taking Milk out of the equation for them as the D-Mac comes on to Lavender as Dash ends up taking down Harmu. We may be seeing a replay once again of Objective 1 during round 1. Lavender able to get back into mech, but it may not be enough as Storm swinging away. We're going to see the boost come out from Newt, ends up saving Storm from Paragon's charge right there, and Newt's going to take him out of the picture with the tire from Dash to take down Aerosmith. That's going to be Objective 1 with 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. Gonna push into Objective 2, but a Shatter already coming down from Storm, looking to clean up as much space in front of the payload as possible. Currently, Krev, and I believe it's Useless on the payload right now. Krev now taking the high ground with Dash as they are trying to secure objective number 2 as much as possible. Useless pushing that payload in right now. 60 seconds remaining as we go on to the high ground right now. Paragon and the rest of the Kings Row Saints just making their way straight to payload, but we're going to see Pups Academy go ahead and shift properly. Here comes the anti-nade as Bob goes in to do some damage. Here they come with the nano out on Storm, but we're going to see Kings Row Saints move their way back. The Shatter comes out from Paragon, ends up missing, going into Storm's shield. The Diva Bomb goes in. Oh!
He's facing the wrong way!
Oh! Like, because he was expecting it to go past the bridge, it got stuck on the bridge just barely and ends up getting taken out. That was a lucky play for the Kings Row Saints right there. 12 seconds on the clock. The payload currently stuck at 75 meters. They only got 10 seconds to move their way back in. It looks like Newt coming in with the B-Tron.
Can he make it?
To be able to catch the point, but Whale, no! Not able to grab it in time.
Oh, it hurts.
Man. That was rough. Either that was like an 1,000 IQ play by hitting it in that corner from Lavender, or that was a misfire because it just barely caught the lip of the bridge. So it looked like it was supposed to go into the back line to grab the squishies in the back, but it barely caught the lip you saw Storm turn around because that's what Storm was expecting for it to go into the back line, and it ended up taking out Storm and one other person because it was in front of the payload instead of behind. So I gotta say, I'm either impressed or color Kings Row Saints incredibly lucky. One of those two. I'm not exactly for certain how that really went down. But you all in the chat can go ahead and determine that as you will. So, first objective captured, second objective almost captured, 75.99 meters. Now let me note that objective 2 was where they held off the most amount of time for Pups Academy. They held that choke around the corner going into objective 2 very well for just about 2.5 minutes. They only have 3 minutes 20 seconds to waste. So if Pups Academy can set up that choke again, we may be seeing a 2-0. If not, Kings Row Saints going to be tying it up as we end match 2 here on Dorado. How are you thinking there, Dr. Heathen?
I like to see Lavender making the immediate swap over to Soldier, recognizing Fair as a problem, and immediately taking her out of the sky. Oh my god, the retaliation kill. But that was a good swap. A lot of aggression going to be coming out in the next few seconds.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Dash swapped over to the Pharah despite how well the Junkrat was working for them. As the sleep out dart comes out onto Paragon from Useless. Useless been landing those like crazy. That's the anti-nade and the dynamite. Gonna take out 3 between Useless and Frev right there. That's gonna go ahead and waste a minute off the clock right now as that pushes back Kings Row Saints to spawn. Storm taking out Lavender right there. Merrick's in the chat saying 900% intentional.
I mean, I honestly might believe that.
Diva Bomb was 900% intentional, and I gotta be honest, I don't believe it. I really don't. As someone who is saying many a Diva Bomb, it really seemed like it was going into the back line, but we're going back into the fight. Double Shatter comes out, but it looks like right now Paragon's in the lead for the Shatter. Dash gonna bring it back with the double kill though as Useless takes down Paragon. The res coming in from Newt onto Dash as they bring Dash back into the fight. Lavender currently trying to take Dash back out of the fight as the Valkyrie gets popped for Newt. That's going to allow them to continue to hold as we see Storm and the rest of the team get back into the objective. It may not be soon enough as the tackle comes in. Harmu ends up taking down Storm, trying to take down Paragon after that fight. Here comes the Bob, but the Trans and Beat Drop coming into the fight as the res comes in for Storm. It's just enough of a distraction and wastes 2 ultimates for their team. Paragon ends up taking down Storm as Lavender follows up on Milk, and Newt gets fell by the Whale. The only one left on the objective is Krev, and they get taken out by Harmu as well. Or I think that's Harmod, I believe. I might have been saying this wrong the entire time, but they finally get objective number 1. Nope, it's Harmu. I had it right the whole time. I'm glad I had it right. I was really trying not to get anyone's names wrong this time around, especially not in the finals match. But note, I don't watch everyone's matches, so it's still a learning experience all the way to the end. So they are now at the choke that they held them well. Here comes the Graviton, 30 seconds on the clock. Milk getting the double kill onto Paragon and Harmu, and the res coming in for Dash once again. 20 seconds on the clock. Can Pups Academy hold it, or will we see Kings Row Saints tie up the series? They're holding them in spawn. 10 seconds on the clock right now as Storm and the rest of the team holding a very forward approach around the choke. They're going to move their way in. No swaps needed on the team. Here comes the Tack Visor as we see the Shatter. Mad Shatter, but gets countered by Paragon. It may be enough as Paragon gets the tackle onto Storm. Harmu taking down Milk, but Kreb does end up taking out Shock at the beginning of the fight. Lavender following up on Newt as Whale takes down Kreb. The payload is now in Kings Row Saints' favor as they are moving fervently forward. 30 meters left. Overtime ticking away right now. Useless, the only one left to try to contest the point as they move their way in. Overtime ticking away. We're now going to see Milk swap over to the Hammond as they try to hold on to the backline. Spin to win, coming out from Milk as the Nano, who I think was intended for Storm right there, ends up going on to Milk, ends up taking down Aerosmith in the backline as Whale takes down Storm. The Barrage comes out, but the Rockets comes out from Lavender. Paragon taking down Dash as Milk gets the chain kill onto Whale, trying to hold on, but Harmu ends up taking Milk out of the fight, and in the very last grips of time, it is going to be Kings Row Saints walking away with their very first win this evening, tying up the series 1-1. Woo! Play of the game going to Lavender as D.Va. We knew this was gonna happen. D.Va Bomb going into the back line. See, it was way high. You see the shield go up, but it wasn't high enough. Ooh.
Those are some... Man, there's lots that just happened in that. Those are some good D.Va Bombs, though, coming out of... Every time I see the D.Va Bomb, it looks like it's not going to be amazing, and then it is, and it just doesn't have reason to be. It feels kind of like the enemy Reinhardt was making a couple mistakes there, because Ryan dying to D.Va Bomb, I know his shield was up, it just wasn't facing the right way, and then later the whole bridge thing, not putting his shield the right way. It feels like the plays are being made because of the opponent's mistake, if that makes sense.
I totally agree with what you're saying. It looks like it looks like I've been pronouncing useless wrong.
Ah.
I said it the last time
cool.
we were in a match and no one ever corrected me. So I assumed that it was just a weird spelling and it was useless, but I guess it's useless. Useless.
Cool, I got worried that I was saying it wrong.
Oh, see, we never know. We honestly never know until someone corrects us. I'm hoping for next season we might look at getting pronunciations in the rosters. That'd be great, because that would really help us out. Because sometimes we are way off, and that would really help us out. So, series is tied 1-1 right now. Normally we would go into halftime, but since we could possibly be going to map, map 7, we're gonna do map 3 and then take our halftime break. So we're gonna be moving on to our hybrid map next, which it looks like it's going to be Eichenwald, which is not a map we've seen a lot of this season.
But both teams wanted to pick this map. We saw earlier Kings Row trying to pick it, and now Pups is picking it, so...
It apparently is a map that they really want to go, and that the choke point on Eichenwald is definitely a lot more powerful than trying to hold the point on Numbani for first objective. There's a lot of different ways that you can get in on Numbani. Very hard to hold down, but Eichenwald, it's pretty much that one choke unless you pull like a Farah Mercy D.Va that goes over the top of the roof, because they're really the only characters that can go up and over.
Yeah.
So...
And Pups have been willing to jump to Pharmacy a lot. One thing I do want to give a shout out on is Newt playing Mercy. I absolutely loved watching this player play Mercy because this is the ballsiest freaking Mercy player. Stares down Soldier in the face and goes, yeah, I'll res. I'll just pop Valk afterwards so that I have the health regen. Tanks. Both tanks collapse in front of him on his position. Yeah, I'll just res. No big deal.
Just res. No big.
And then he gets away with it. Like, I think 4 out of 6 of his reses he got away with perfectly fine.
It's great. Looking in the chat, G. Sussman saying maybe you should ask before the match. We would.
Oh, we forgot to do that this time.
If the match was normally set up on time. That's the thing, is that when we're dealing with everything else, the very last thing that we're going to ask is pronunciation. That's why I'd just rather have a guide to it, so that we didn't have to ask. Ideally, though, that is what we would do if we actually got everyone together 15 minutes before the match started. It's like it's supposed to be. It's
something we actually have been doing. Is just typing in match chat at the beginning of the match. Hey, whose name's going to be challenging to pronounce? Who wants to make sure that their name's pronounced correctly? We've been doing that recently. I think we just didn't do that this time. I think that's like the first in a couple of games that we haven't done that.
Oh, really? It must be more common for you than it has been for me.
Well, yeah, but I also cast just about every game at this point, so that means most of them.
That makes
Anything that just I do is something we do most games now.
Nope, I completely agree.
We got Eichenwald next.
I know. Eichenwald.
Yeah, I dragged the conversation away from earlier, but we were talking about Pups Academy kind of having, we think, an advantage just because they're willing to go over to the Far Mercy and they seem confident to jump on it a bunch. And
that's true, but it just didn't seem. I guess I'm kind of surprised by it. I
Yeah.
guess because it felt like the Junkrat was really working out for them. I felt like the thing that wasn't working out was seeing Krev on the Ashe. They were pulling off a couple of pop shots, but having Ashe on the sniper, it's very. I don't know. I play very little Ashe, so my opinion is worth a hill of beans, to be completely honest with you. But I find that Ashe has a difficult time getting picks more so than maybe a Hanzo or a Widow, just not as agile to be able to reposition. And especially with the Hanzo, you could have used the Grab Dragon combo, which could have been incredibly useful as they had a goats composition most of the time.
I don't know, I kind of want to disagree with that point, because I feel like Hanzo Grav is just playing into goat's strength, because they'll have Transcendence almost guaranteed, or they'll have Beat, and they have so many ways to work around that specific combo. I feel like if Krev had used Bob in a couple more creative ways, that it would have been a really strong pick, but just a lot of times he slammed up against walls where the enemy was able to run away from, or he just threw it into a Graviton Surge, which kind of was a defensible, and it did work out in that way, I'm going to say, but
Yep.
I feel like Ashe is a pretty good pick into a Goats composition. There's a lot of utility to be had there.
No, I agree with you there. That's definitely possible. And it looks like Krev going to pull out the Ashe once again. We're going to see Dash on the Pharah, but Newt... Oh, nope. Dash is going to swap over to the Junk because Newt's coming in on the Lucio. This is going to be the comp that we saw during Elios coming back out again. As we see Paragon and Harmu and the rest of the team go ahead and set up with the comp that they ended on for Dorado, rather. So let's go ahead and see if they can continue to hold on. Sapphire in the chat saying, as a member of Pups, I'm surprised by the Far Mercy. So it must not be something that they run very often. So that is definitely surprising. Paragon getting the Fire Strike onto Dash to start things off as they move fervently into the objective. That's going to move them fervently back out of the choke point. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right now. As Paragon and the rest of the team go ahead and set up at the choke point. Lavender on the Soldier. I have to say that I'm kind of surprised with the Soldier when there's not a Far Mercy, but I mean, if they can make it work, make it work, I guess. Paragon now taking out Useless on the with the Fire Strike and getting the tackle onto Milk as Lavender takes down Storm and Newt. Whale ends up getting the kill on Dash, and Crab goes for the reset right there. That's going to shut down their push once again. And right now, Kings Row holding a very strong defense with just about 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and going into this next engagement, it's... neither team has their Graviton Search ready, and it's really going to come down to who can land the bigger shatter between Storm and Paragon. Of course, catching the all-important Lucio support ult that's ready on the side of Newt and Whale's Transcendence. Oh, Newt's support ult isn't ready. I don't know what's going on.
There comes the shatter and the tire quad kill! That's a quad kill coming in from Dash on the tire with the help of Shatter coming in from Storm, and that is going to end any point of defending that objective. Objective Alpha is gone, and the payload is moving. 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock as Kreb goes ahead and throws some dynamite into the backline that it now is set up for the side of Kings Row Saints. They're going to go ahead and set up right around this corner as the shatter comes down from Paragon, ends up getting two as Harmu takes down Milk. to complete that. It's making it a 5v6 fight still, as the payload still hasn't pushed past the bridge choke right here. We're going to see Lavender currently on the high ground as the Soldier 76. They do have the ultimate economy for this map right now, as Dash goes ahead and boops their way over, ends up catching Aerosmith on the side as the attack visor comes out for Lavender, ends up catching Krev on the side, not able to get behind that shield fast enough, and that's going to be the only shot that Lavender will catch with that attack visor. Dash going up, trying to go up onto the high ground to go ahead and clean that up as the grab nano comes out. Here, the tackle ends up getting missed by Storm, as Newt ends up getting the boot kill onto Whale. Lavender takes down Dash, but Storm follows up with the fire strike on Shock, and Milk melts Paragon as they move into objective number 2. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and they might be able to get a stagger kill right now. Zarya's pushing forward, trying to get aggressive, and she's going to get killed herself.
That's true. Shock going to take down Lavender, or take down Milk, as Lavender falls to Krev. That's going to be a 5v5 fight. Double tire going to make it 3. There comes the Bob out from Krev, looking to defend the point, as well as with the beat drop out from Newt. That's going to secure objective number 2. 4:20 on the clock right now, as they go ahead and move their way into objective number 3.
Yeah, but when we start getting indoors like this is where Ghost composition starts to get a little bit more strong. I say that though, it's also where Junkrat starts to get a little more strong.
I
So,
know, right?
in theory, this shouldn't have much of a power spike. Paragon,
That's
2-man,
coming out,
triple.
but the anti-nade looking to stop that was not able to do so. Lavender ends up taking down Storm, and we're going to go ahead and see the rest of the team move their way back from the objective to get Storm back in the fight. 3 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock. Storm charging their way into the objective now, as Dash ends up getting the first kill onto Shock. Lavender follows up on Dash though, so it's a 5v5 fight right now. Here comes the Bob out into the Graviton that came out from Harmu, but Harmu ends up taking down Milk and Krev regardless. Paragon following up on Newt, and that's going to be a clean sweep of the side of Pups Academy by the Kings Row Saints. I think what I'm seeing popping up in the chat is what I have to agree with, and that's seeing Storm coming in with those charges just a little bit too often. I mean, yes, the charge is great if you can get that pin, but if you can't, then you set yourself up, and the behind shatter comes in, but the sleep dart from Fusilus ends up getting them down before Paragon can follow up on that. The only one they're able to take out is Storm, and that's going to go ahead and allow them to hold on as they go ahead and push into the objective once again. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. G. Sussman in the chat saying Lavender really needs to be eating up those ash nades. As the tire comes out, looking to do some damage, ends up getting eaten up by Lavender. Diva Bomb coming out from Lavender, getting into the back line, ends up taking down Dash. But it may not be enough as the shatter comes out from Storm, looking to clean up, but the rally gets countered and taken out by Storm. Here comes Bob once again out from Krev, looking to do some damage, looking to clean up as the Transcendence gets popped by Whale. Harmu takes Storm out of the equation, and that looks like it's going to be a shutdown. Merrick's in the chat saying, why Transcendence? And honestly, I think they were trying to hold on like they had the Bob. The
Bob got used after Transcendence, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I don't know then. I thought Transcendence was a response to Bob. So
it's like, it was like a split second, but...
Yeah, I mean, so, anyways, it worked out in their favor, I believe. It was...
Storm pushing
they were
forward.
Prepared, I guess. Here comes the beat drop. Fat Shatter coming in from Storm. Gets the triple charge in. The double grab coming out. Another Bob out from Krev. Those Bobs are coming out all over the place as the tire comes in. Ends up taking down Paragon. But Paragon died. A bomb from Lavender on the high ground. Didn't get caught in the Graviton. Able to get the triple as Whale cleans up Krev. and Usulus, and that is going to clean up the objective once again. 40 seconds on the clock. It is going to shut down that push, and they only have about 30 seconds left to get that payload into its final resting spot.
God, those Diva Bombs just every single time. God.
It's well planned out, it seems. Whale taking down Storm. Storm getting a little too aggressive at the beginning of that fight as Lavender gets the rockets onto Newt. Kreb able to take down Shock, but Shock takes down Kreb as well. Lavender and Milk get taken out by, or Dash and Milk get taken out by Lavender and Whale, and that's going to clean up the objective for the most part. Storm trying to charge in as quickly as possible, just trying to touch the objective to get it into overtime, and it's going to be successful. Kreb gonna swap over to the Tracer, ends up getting overtime to tick away as Milk swaps over to the Hammond, ends up getting stunned as the charge comes in from Paragon. Kreb ends up getting taken out by the Fire Strike as Aerosmith takes down Milk, and overtime is gonna tick away. Kingsborough Saints gonna go ahead and hold objective number 3, and that is going to stop the push coming in from Pups Academy.
God, I feel like I'm thinking back and I'm trying to think of a Bob that did something. I feel like every time Bob came out, Transcendence was already going, or it landed in a Graviton one time, but in such a way that it couldn't start shooting. Like, Kreb builds these super quick, but I never feel like they do anything. And I feel like it's really been one of the most underutilized pieces of utility on the side of Pups Academy.
I completely agree with you there. It just seems to be... It's definitely not useless. It just seems very... Like, Kreb has been popping off shots as Ash, but the ultimates are what really is being lost in all of that. And that is the difficult part of all this, is figuring out what is going to work out. And right now, it looks like they're going to go for the bunker comp.
Yeah, we got a Bastion. That's always exciting.
And a Batiste.
Oh, and we got Newt back on Mercy.
Newt's back on Mercy. We got oh, they're going solo. No, they're going dual heals.
Yeah, they got Baptiste Mercy.
Baptiste just does so much damage, I just forget that he's even a healer, to be completely honest with you.
I saw some statistics come out recently that he's actually doing less damage in matches than Lucio, and definitely trailing behind Zenyatta by a lot. But in competitive matches, is actually healing more than Ana.
Well, I mean, that's what he should be doing.
Yeah, but that's the most healing across any healer.
Oh, goodness, that is pretty crazy. Well, we're going to see them set up, but it looks like it may not be a good position to be set, as we already see them move on to the objective. First tick already taken as Harmu takes down Dash. Kreb able to get the kill onto Paragon, though, as they reset up on the high ground. And the rest of the team trying to contest as Kreb just raining bullets down from above. Storm trying to hold on as long as possible as the res comes in after Whale takes down Kreb. They're going to be able to continue to hold on for now as Kreb moves down to the objective to be able to get the shield from Storm right there. Here comes the tank mode already out, as well as the amplification matrix from Usalus, and that is going to clean up right now. Kreb getting the double kill as Lavender goes for the reset, make that a triple as it gets Whale as well, and Harmu is going to take that hard reset as well. Go ahead and reset with the rest of the team. They did end up getting 2 ticks, and after that you would think that they would not set up like that. Looking in the chat, Draconic and G Sussman saying, is this really a viable strategy? And I gotta say yes.
Yeah.
It is something that has been working out very well.
Oh, wait, maybe not.
But it's not gonna work out now. It's Diva Bomb coming down, though. Ends up getting absorbed by the shield as Whale takes down Dash. Here comes the bongos out from Storm as they try to hold on. The amplification matrix out once again, but Aerosmith takes Usalus out of the fight as Paragon takes down Storm. And at just about the same amount of time, we're gonna see 4 minutes, 38 seconds, and another pause. Why are we seeing so many pauses?
Hey, we just gotta make sure that we're doing that everything's going absolutely perfect, right?
Well,
we gotta pause.
It's not, because we just lost 2. So Dr. Heathen, tell me what you've been seeing.
Those two people were about to sip
It
off.
looks like Krebs' game crashed.
Yeah, we lost Symmetra and Bastion from Pups Academy, and both those characters I'm expecting to switch off, so it's not like they're going to lose any of their ultimate charge, and it shouldn't really impact the game in any significant way. But really, I think all that fight came down to was Paragon got a 5-man shatter, and there's not a lot you can do to come back from that.
No, they tried. Eusalis ended up popping the immortality field, but honestly, with all that health already, that's the thing about the immortality field. Unless you got the health to make sure that people are back up by the time it's gone, it really doesn't help them out at the end of the day. Looking in the chat, G Sussman says it. Bunker doesn't work against coordinated teams, really. It's quite easy to counter if you're coordinated.
It's map specific.
I agree and disagree with that, because I've seen some very coordinated teams that have not been able to take out a bunker, and I've seen some very coordinated teams not be able to pull off a bunker. So I guess it really depends on what's going on. It looks like we've got them back in the match now, so we're going to start things up once again. As we go ahead and unpause, the payload's going to start moving. 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Oh, Newt.
Newt, what
Go, Newt! You got this!
What is Newt doing?
Oh, they didn't got this. Never mind.
But what was Newt doing?
He needed to die.
But why?
I don't know.
You could have just...
Gotta reset.
They were going to reset characters anyway, so I guess it's not a big deal. Milk ends up getting the D-Mech and kill onto Lavender with the help of Eusalis. And we're going to see Storm end up getting stunned as Paragon ends up taking them out of the fight. They've switched over to a dive Goats composition. Shot getting the boot kill onto Newt as Whale follows up onto Krev. The only one left is Eusalis, and they're going to go for the hard reset as well. 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, and just the single swap over to the Winston seems to be really helping out this this setup right here.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with the section of the map they're on. Winston's pretty good here.
It is quite possible. Here comes the Graviton Diva Bomb out from Lavender and Hormu, and that's going to be a double. And that might be enough, but Krev ends up getting the double in the back line as well as Paragon takes down Nuke. Shock following up on Krev, and Dash gets caught by Aerosmith. The team kill rings out. Objective 2 is taken, and that's going to move them on to Objective 3 with 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Now, once again, we saw them hold this objective for just about the same amount of time against Pups Academy. So if Pups Academy can do the same, this will work out for them. But they've got to be able to get that first. The ultimates are pretty tied. The Shatter comes out, gets one. Beat Drop coming out as the Tire waiting for the Wear Out. Ends up taking down Aerosmith as Paragon takes down Dash. Here comes the Nano onto Storm, looking to do some damage. Trying to get somebody as Krev takes down Paragon, who's in their backline. Lavender takes down Storm, though, as Milk follows up on Harmu. That's going to go ahead and push them back. Lavender, currently caught out of mech, gets taken out by the boop from Newt. And that's going to go ahead and reset the team. 3 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, going into this next engagement, though, Kings Row Saints have a lot more ultimates to work with. It's going to be up to Newt to land the beat in such a way that it counters possibly multiple ultimates from the Sons of Kings Row.
I completely agree with you on that. Shatter comes out as the Graviton hits, but Storm gets the Fire Strike kill onto Aerosmith to start things off. The Transcendence comes out from Whale, trying to hold everything together, and as Krev works on trying to get Lavender out of mech and is going to end up being successful. That's going to give them 3 minutes on the clock. And now, looking in the chat, G. Sussman saying, why Tracer against Goats? And that's why Krev has, the times I've seen Krev play Tracer, it's been incredibly powerful. Either able to chase down Lavender to get them fully demeched, or able to get the kills onto the healers in the backline. So, depending on how they're making it work is really what's going to happen. Dash coming out with the Tire once again, looking to try to get it. Will it be successful though? Looking to get one. Double! Ends up getting Lavender and Paragon after Milk gets the D-Max. Storm following up on a Harmu. That's going to continue to move the payload in reverse. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Ultimate's pretty much even, but Milk's going to be cutting it. Well, actually, it's going to be the battle of the Qs here in this next fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of ultimates ready for both sides, and in that situation, Ghost has a lot of stronger ultimates. If they can land the Zarya grab Diva Bomb combo, they should be in a pretty good spot.
Alright, well let's see if they can do it. Graviton coming out with the Diva Bomb. Ends up getting tackled. That's a double as Whale and Paragon get a double as well. Krev and Dash trying to bring it back as much as possible as Krev tries to hold on to the objective. As best as a Krev can do, ends up getting taken out by Whale though, but they do have time. 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. Here comes the tire out from Dash. Triple kill with the shatter, and the nano comes out because they didn't really know who to expect on the objective, I guess. Trying to get some damage on to maybe take Paragon out of the fight, and will end up being successful as well as taking down Lavender. That's going to give them 1 minute and 15 seconds to push back into the objective. The only issue is, though, that the ultimates are now in favor of the Kings Row Saints, and they only got 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah, but at this point, if they were to cap, both teams get another attack phase, so Pups even losing right now wouldn't be in a terrible situation.
Looking into the chat, Puppy Love saying, what is this chat involvement? Hey, I love involving you all in the chat, alright? I don't think that's a bad thing. Charge coming in from Paragon as Usalis ends up getting taken out of the fight. It's a 5v6 fight on the objective right now as we see Storm get the shatter, ends up taking down Paragon as the pulse bomb from Krev takes down Aerosmith. Whale ends up taking down Storm in return. 30 seconds left on the clock as they try to hold on to the objective. Milk ends up getting taken down by Whale as Lavender takes down Dash. Newt ends up getting taken down by Whale, as well as the tire coming out from Spawn. Milk swapping over to the Hammond once again, trying to hold on. Ends up getting the ends up releasing the Diva Bomb, ends up getting wasted, but Whale is able to follow up on Storm. Milk coming out, ends up getting the nano, looking to do some damage, try to take somebody out of the fight as Paragon takes down Usalis. Ends up coming out with the shatter at the end. Dash coming out as the May, trying to hold on as long as possible. Here comes the rally out from Aerosmith. Lavender. Harmu ends up getting kills on the objective as Milk comes back out as the Hammond. Overtime and ticking away right now. We're seeing a repeat of Dorado here, folks. Lavender, Whale, Chuck lighting up the kill feed. The Graviton comes out, and oh my goodness! Kings Row Saints walk away with their second victory of the night here on Eichenwald.
And these are super close, all the way up there.
It's always in overtime. Every time it's in overtime.
I don't know if we're going to get a match this close for quite a while after this, even with the playoffs coming up.
No, I completely agree with you there. I'm honestly wondering if we are going to end up seeing that map 7. I really do. Because right now it looks like Kings Row Saints bringing it back, but I really feel like maybe it's objective based that works for the side of Pups Academy. Maybe they're much more like control assault type, but we don't know. So we will definitely figure that out when we come back from our 5-minute break. Go ahead, get yourself a drink, use the restroom, whatever you all need to do. The gold finals match for season 2 here at the Rose League will be back in just a few minutes.
Pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Won't you use your water bill to dry the scene like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Do you tear yourself apart to entertain like me? Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to try to save me like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Are you high enough without the Mary Jane like me? Do you tear yourself apart to entertain like me? Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me.
I'm here fighting habits, call it systematic. Administrate my mind, all you get is static. I got the right intention, fuck the mayor's attention. I'm back tracking all the things I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention. I'm here fighting habits, call it systematic. Administrate my mind, and all you get is static. I'm fully automated, don't think you could take it. 10 steps ahead of what you procrastinated. I'm surrounded, try to focus, but I'm clouded. Need a mind frame, unrestricted. Need another role so I can fix it. I'm here fighting habits, call it systematic. Administrate my mind, all you get is static. I got the right intention, I'm back tracking all the things I forgot to mention. I'm here fighting habits. I forgot to mention.
everyone. Welcome back to the Gold Finals here at Rose League Season 2. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, and the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Heathen on the color and producer roles for us tonight. Dr. Heathen, why don't you go ahead and give us a little synopsis of how the first couple maps went?
That's a lot to break down. So Lavender gets 4K every time a Diva Bomb is used.
Not every time, but they're pretty big.
I know, I wanted to make a joke. But seriously, Lavender's been making... It's like a 50-50. Lavender's Diva Bombs that are absolutely amazing, or we don't need to talk about them. And it's been absolutely amazing to watch the ones that do work, because it's always in great spots. It's either throwing off a Reinhardt by throwing it up against the bridge, like we saw, being properly used with the Graviton Surge combo, and his team following up on it was definitely well executed. And I've been enjoying watching them try to get this Diva Bomb into weird spots to try and get kills. But scoreline 2-1 right now. Pups Academy did win the first map, which was Control Point, and hasn't been Control Point since, so we might be seeing a team that's just really good at Control Point. But based on their last matchup, Kings Row Saints versus Pups Academy, where they had 2 Control Point maps, Pups Academy only had 1 win, which means they had to have lost 1 Control Point map. So momentum right now on Kings Row, and Pups Academy need to figure out what they need to change up in order to get back into this. I have a few ideas on what they could be looking at, but it's really going to be up to their coaching staff and up to the team to discuss between each other to figure out what they need to do.
It definitely will be. It looks like our next map is going to be Temple of Anubis. Going to give a shout out to Euselis in the chat saying for that healing number, and I didn't actually catch it at the end, but I saw the chat blow up that it was a huge healing number. So props to you. Having those high heals, especially in the like 20s to 30,000s, is huge for healers. Like that means you're really supporting your team. So let's go ahead and see how the teams are going to set up here. Temple of Anubis is not a map that we see very often, so I'm actually really surprised that we're going here. We could be seeing some sniper compositions coming out, but based on what we've been seeing from both these teams so far, we're probably going to see goats. We're seeing goats coming out, dive goats rather, coming out from the side of Kings Row Saints, whereas Krev is coming out on the Widow, which I kind of expected.
There's some silence to use here.
I'm not for certain what everybody else might be going. It looks like Storm and Milk are going to stay on the Ryan Zarya. Dash is swapping over from the Torb
to
the Junk.
Go back to Torb. Come on, let's
go back. Honestly, I've seen some good attack Torbs lately. Like, no joke. No joke.
I feel like Temple of Anubis isn't a great spot for it because all the good Torbjorn turret spots are really defender-oriented, and you have to have some time to get them set up in those positions.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. They're going to go ahead and start pushing into the objective. It looks like Prep settled on the Tracer for their fight, so they're looking to be up close and personal as they move their way into the side room, going ahead and trying to get past this dive composition. Not going to be really good for kind of holding against this, but Snowbrit will end up taking out Milk to start things off as Dash follows up onto Paragon. Kreb working their way into the backline as the anti-name comes out from Euselis. Ends up getting 3, but not a lot of cleanup in the backline right now. They're moving their way onto the objective as Storm tries to get those Discord off of them as much as possible. Here comes the Nano from Euselis onto Storm, looking to clean some things up. Comes in with the charge, has 2 in the room, gets the double onto Aerosmith and Will as Kreb follows up on Snowbridge. Paragon ends up coming back in to get Dash, but Storm follows up on Shock, and Paragon will get fell by Kreb on the Tracer. You're my best friend that I've ever had. I'll shoot you in the face this time. That was Tracer singing to Winston right there. I hope you enjoyed it. 6 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock. I just hear your sigh, Dr. Heathen, as they move into objective number 2. Oh, it looks like you need to swap things over there, Dr. Heathen. You didn't swap over to the fight. They're getting the audio.
Oh, shoot.
It's okay. Swapping it
that's
over
not.
right now, folks. Here comes the tire out from Dash, looking to do some damage on objective number 2. Ends up getting Whale. Diva Bomb coming down on the inside. Ends up getting Newt as Paragon gets the tackle onto Krebs. So it's a 4v6 fight on the objective. And that's going to go ahead and push them back. Dash is able to take out Aerosmith, but Usalis is going to fall to Snowbrit. And Dash might be the only one that gets out of the point alive, moving their way all the way back to spawn as they go ahead and move back. Merrick's in the chat saying Rose League Radio. WVKD Rose League 25-7. Coming at you. This is Captain Jack with all the great Overwatch tunes. It is coming, folks. I promise. I know that Dr. Heathen has swapped it over, but with the delay, oh, the hammer down comes in from Paragon, but the Graviton coming out along with the tire, looking to get that back line if possible, trying to get it outside of the trans, and here comes the shatter out from Storm. This may be just what they need as the Nano ends up coming in onto Storm, ends up getting the D-Mac onto Paragon and is gonna clean them out of the fight, possibly, maybe not. They're stuck in the side room, not doing a lot of anything. Aerosmith able to take Krebs out of the fight, but Dash takes down Lavender. Whale following up on Milk right there. It's a 4v5 fight, make that 4v3 right now as they continue to fight on the objective. Snowbird ends up taking down Newt. It is 4v2 now as Dash takes down Aerosmith, but Paragon gets the double, and Whale follows up on Usalis. 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock right now as we see the reset coming in for the side of Pups Academy.
Yeah, and going to this next fight, looking at the ultimates, if Snowbird can get his Graviton Surge online, there isn't a defensive ultimate to counter it just yet. Newt is at 50%, and that could be their big opening to try and get in this. It just means that he has to find a Graviton Surge where he can get a couple of these members together, and that might be tricky, especially with Krev actually taking out the fight. He was going to be the hardest member to catch.
Yep, and that's the early pick right there. Yeah, remember, as Tracer, you only got 150, and if Snowbrit's charged up, which we are seeing very well that they are getting that triple right there into that, they have got to be 100% charged. I'm actually going to check this. I'm going to check right now to see if they are. Let me go ahead and swap over. Where are they?
Snowbrit, 66 charge.
Snowbrit. Oh, goodness.
Versus Milk is 0.
Think about how it must have been during the fight, though. That had to have been really close to 100 to melt so quickly. Here comes the Graviton Diva Bomb right in the middle. The only one that ends up missing is Crab, somehow still was protected somehow. I'm not for certain how that ended up working out in that. And we're going to see Paragon coming out with the Primal, pushes back the rest of the team as Whale ends up taking down Milk. 2 minutes, 55 seconds on the clock. Another reset for Pups Academy.
Yeah, going in this next fight. So there's 2 support ultimates ready from the side of King's Row, which means that they are going to be able to deal with this Graviton Surge and Earth Shatter aggression pretty nicely. But eyes on Dash for that tire play. He's been doing pretty well so far with that.
Alright, here comes the double. Heals out. Dash able to take down Paragon to start things off as V-Drop comes out in return from Newt. Here comes the trans, though, out from Whale now to keep the team up as the Nano comes on to Storm, looking to clean up as Arrow ends up taking Kreb out of the fight. Lavender follows up on Dash, but Newt takes down Snowbrit. In return, Paragon back in the fight as we see Storm and Aerosmith going at it on the objective. Paragon gonna end up taking down Newt as Usalis gets taken down by Lavender, and Aerosmith gets the flail into the Guardian Storm as Whale takes down Krev as well. That is now at the 1 minute 45 second mark And right now, Pups Academy having a really difficult time figuring out what they're going to do. Personally, I feel like Krev needs to swap to something else. They need additional damage, or they just need additional coordination, because they seem to get into the point, they pick off the first person, and then they just kind of scatter. Here comes the sleep dart at Graviton. Diva Bomb going into the center once again, as Paragon ends up taking down Newt with the Primal, and Whale follows up on Milk, making that a double, as Paragon triple, taking down Usalis and Krev. Snowbrit following up on Dash. Dash able to take down Whale, but that is going to be a quick reset for them. 1 minute on the clock. Saphir of the Void saying Krebs' will is stronger than the Diva Bomb. I love it. And it looks like Krebs going to swap over to the Brig in response. Maybe too little too late, though, if they can't hold up with it, with now a triple heal comp coming in to this Goats composition. Will it be enough? Here comes the tire out from Dash, looking to land somewhere, get somebody. But it's going to end up getting taken out by Whale. Just lasted a little too long. Here comes the Nano onto Storm once again, trying to get in and do some damage. But the Trance coming out from Whale going to prevent any of that from happening. Newt coming out with the B-drop, trying to keep them in the fight as Usalis ends up getting the D-Mac onto Lavender. Lavender in the back line trying to do some damage as Storm gets the tackle onto Aerosmith. Here comes the Graviton out from Snowbread, trying to keep the objective alive as Paragon gets the Primal and takes Dash out of the fight. They're still fighting on the objective, trying to D-Mac Lavender, and will be successful as Crab gets the flail onto Whale. Lavender ends up getting the kill onto Storm in Mini Diva form as the rally comes out from Aerosmith, trying to keep them in the fight. Paragon following up, trying to take Usalis out, but Newt and Milk end up following up on Aerosmith and Lavender. Diva Bomb on the objective from Milk doesn't end up getting much of anything as the tire comes in from Dash, looking to clean up something. First tick, second tick, double kill for Dash with that tire as Paragon gets the punch kill onto Dash, not able to get to the objective fast enough, and objective 2 will be claimed with just about, like, barely any seconds on the clock. None. 0 seconds on the clock. Whoa. What is it with these teams grabbing everything in the last second?
I mean, it's honestly the best second to do it, right? It's the most exciting one, at least, I'd say.
I would say. But now they essentially only have one shot at this. If they end up losing objective 2 with over a minute on King's Row's clock, then it's only a first tick on this point on objective A. If they get them under a minute, they will have a chance to come back. So honestly, the goal is to hold them at point 1, or at least hold them at point 2. The question is, though, can they make it happen? Saphir of the Void making fun of me in the chat. Can't pronounce Usalis, but he can pronounce my name properly, so there's that. Sometimes it's just the way the names look to me. Like, I felt like it was just kind of like a respelling of useless. Like, I feel like that's what it is, because I'm used to Xbox, probably. You can only have, like, one name, whereas on PC for Overwatch, you can have, like, a million people with the same name, and all the numbers are different. I'm just not used to that. So,
I feel like it's just kind of random chance whether or not you get it right on the first try.
Yeah. Just got lucky, I guess. All right, well, Lavender's coming out with the sniper this time around, bringing out the Widow, as we see the Goats composition coming out now for Pups Academy on the defense. We're going to see Kings Row Saints go ahead and move on to the high ground. Paragon and the rest of the team trying to hold on. We're going to see Snowbrit fall down first. The tackle comes in, ends up meeting with Storm's tackle as well. And everybody's flailing hammers, flailing everything right now. Not a lot of protection. Storm ends up getting the double kill on the point with the fire strike, but Lavender gets a pick onto Newt. Storm following up on Aerosmith as Usalis ends up taking down Paragon. And that is going to be a hold of objective 1 for now. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. The only one near the objective is Lavender. Massively Small, thank you so much for the cheers in the chat. Why 30 viewers? I don't know. I feel like 30 viewers is pretty good.
It's final. It's a big deal.
Good. Yeah. Here comes
Oh,
the
shatter.
up from Paragon. Paragon ends up getting the double, but a counter shatter gets 4 coming out from Storm, not able to clean up. Milk gets the double kill, and Storm follows up on a double of their own. Milk getting a triple in the end, taking down Whale. And that is going to be a hold of this objective. It looked like it was going to be in Kings Row's favor, but they could not get Storm before Storm got back up. So, got to love that.
Yeah, they weren't able to keep up Paragon. He wasn't able to swing into it. He died the moment Earth Shudder ended, and that kind of cost them.
Well, let's see if they can keep it going. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Storm and Paragon swinging hammers at one another in point right now. Another shatter! Triple! Quadruple kill! Quintuple kill coming out from Storm with the assist on Milk for that last one. The only one able to get away is Lavender, and it's going to end up getting team-mech'd by Milk. Holy goodness, the Ghost composition is on fire right now for Pups Academy as they continue to hold objective number 1 with 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock.
And Paragon's only 50% towards his Shudder. Storm has had a lot more opportunity and has been doing a lot more damage than Paragon, his counterpart, and it means that he can get these shatters off faster.
Oh, here comes the grab. The counter grab with the trans, and Crib ends up getting the kill onto Aerosmith. Another shatter ends up coming out from Paragon this time, but with all the heals, not able to follow up. Shatter coming out in response, but Storm gets taken out of the fight by Lavender. Whale following up on Dash as well. Newt trying to hold on to the objective as Usalis and Milk end up getting taken down by Whale and Lavender. And Lavender are going to follow up on Newt as well. And that is going to be Objective Alpha with just about 50 seconds on the clock. That's going to give them 4 minutes, 50 seconds to take Objective Bravo. And I got to be honest, it's really looking to be in Pups Academy's favor. But as we've continued to see, Kings Row Saints has that habit of doing things at the very last minute.
Yeah, but they might be doing it right now because Lavender threw a Diva Bomb. It's not going to catch anything this time.
That's a double Diva Bomb going out from either side. Doesn't end up getting much of anything with every ultimate. It's the battle of the Qs right now as we see the charge coming in from Paragon. Ends up getting stopped by Krebs. Snowbrit able to take down Storm, so it's a 5v6 fight as the trans comes out from Whale as well as the Graviton from Snowbrit. That's going to be a cleanup of the objective for now. Only 2 left on the point. It's Newt and Usalis. Now it's only Newt. Newt's the only one left, and here comes the tick to start things off. The shatter ends up coming in from Paragon, but misses as they come in with Paragon taking down Crib. Lavender following up on Storm as they hold on. The Graviton keeps them in the corner, just being a distraction at this point. Shocking the punch kill on Dash as Snowbrit follows up on Newt. The only one left on the point is Crib, but will get taken out, swapping over to the Tracer. Oh man.
Both Tinks dying with their ultimates online has to hurt for Pups Academy because it meant that when Storm came back to the point, he wasn't able to get his Earth Shatter off, and when Milk came back to the point, he was able to get Graviton Surge off, but there wasn't anybody there to follow up with the damage, and it meant that this big tank ultimate that should have won them the previous fight if they were able to find it use for it there was just kind of wasted and only earned them a few more seconds on the clock.
And the thing is now, it's still... we're in a very weird position right now, because we can essentially see a tie on this map, which will still make it 2-1 for the series right now.
Gets rid of the map 7 possibility.
Which is why we have the map 7, just in case. But Pups Academy really needed this victory. So that's going to put them in an awkward position moving forward. But they did hold a very good defense on Objective 1, and they're going to stick with the composition that they had. So if they can get the tie, that gives them some breathing room, but not a whole lot, because that essentially means they have to win the next 3 games, or at least one of the next 4, to be able to take away the victory. Kings Row Saints definitely putting themselves in a better position right now.
Yeah, definitely. And as we see them moving straight up to the choke, they're walking right under the bridge. They're not afraid to move forward.
All right, well, they're going straight in. Paragon ends up charging, but gets stunned out as Whale gets the kill onto Storm. That's going to be a huge pick right there. Kings Row Saints getting love in the chat right now as they go ahead and storm the objective. It just came down to Storm being taken out. That might be all it is, but Milk ends up getting the kill on to Paragon, though. In return, here comes the rally out from Kreb, looking to do some damage and keep the team up as much as possible as both Divas end up getting D-Max right there. Nuke gets the boop kill onto Lavender as they continue to hold on. Here comes the Graviton out from Snowbread. It might be enough, but Storm gets taken out of the fight as soon as they get back. Paragon coming out as the Hammond ends up getting anti-nated as Snowbread takes down Kreb. It is now a 4v3 fight on the objective. Make that 3v3 as the beat drop comes out from Newt, trying to keep the dream alive as much as possible. We're going to see Milk end up getting D-Max as the spin to win comes out from Paragon. Aerosmith ends up slapping everybody around with that flail, and Dash ends up getting hard reset right there. And that's it. Kings Row Saints going to take away their third victory tonight. And I gotta say, color me impressed right there. But Storm just got, despite getting play of the game right here, got caught really out of position. And I know exactly where this was. The Fat Shatter right here that got the quintuple. But it was not enough. It was not enough.
No, not quite. I mean, Gosh, I want to break that down, but the fight went on for so long, the Paragon was able to swap over onto Hammond and come back to the point. I don't think if Storm did something similar, but if he had, he might have been there for a little bit longer, been a little bit more of an impact on that fight. I like to see that Paragon made the swap, and I think it had a really big, nice impact, the Hammond play in that point, because on the Graviton Surge, he was able to drop the pile driver, and he was able to just do, in general, a lot of damage.
Absolutely, and that's really what turned the tide for, well, that I wouldn't say that was what turned the tide for them, but their focus onto Storm. That was the biggest thing. It seemed like Storm was really the one that was kind of holding the team together, and
he died.
And he died both times, like at the beginning of the fight, and as soon as he got back into the fight, died again, because they were focusing Storm so hard, and obviously they knew exactly who they needed to take out of the fight, and unfortunately the heals coming out from Pups Academy was not focused exactly where they needed to be, or they were, and it just wasn't enough. Unfortunately, Pups Academy still has a chance to bring this back, though, and it's really like their last chance to bring this back, because the next victory for Kings Row Saints is going to call it for right now. It looks like our next map is going to be one of my absolute favorites, and we're headed to how do we say this? How do we say this?
Say the word. Do you
say it?
Huh?
You know, you gotta get that really big charge at the. You gotta get that big one, because that's how they do sports. Everything is super exciting, everything is big, and that's exactly what we're gonna be going into. Map 5, gonna go back to Control. Busan is going to be our next map here in the gold finals. Go ahead and blow up the chat with who you all are rooting for. I know a lot of you are rooting for Kings Row Saints. I know I see some love for Pups Academy in there as well. But start thinking about your players of the match as well. If you've enjoyed watching us this evening, you can go ahead and hit that follow at the top of your stream. It's actually very rare to catch us tonight, because usually we take Sundays off, but it was I'm guessing it was the only time that worked for both these teams to do their finals match. Normally you can catch us here Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also hit that subscribe button at the top. Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription, or $4.99 a month, will continue to support our amazing community of 79 teams this season. 79. When I joined the Rose League, I could not even fathom 79 teams in one competition. 79 teams. Ridiculous.
Is that where we're at? I remember it being some even number last time.
When we started, it was 79.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, as we've gotten towards the end, some people have some teams have fallen off due to other life requirements or whatever you will, disagreements or whatnot. But at the start of this, we had 79 teams, and we're getting ready to start enlisting people for Season 3. And I already know of a couple people that have teams in Open Division that are ready to come in for Season 3. So I got to tell you, I am really excited to see where this goes. But Dr. Heathen, how do you think that this next map is going to pan out for these teams?
I mean, Kings Row Saints right now has just so much momentum going into this match, winning the last 3 in a row. It's all been really close, but they've always managed to just bring it out in the last second, managing to get the cap and do what they needed to do. And it's hard to turn all of that momentum around right now. Pups Academy really are on the back foot, and it's going to be challenging. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I can't think of a way for Kings Row to screw this up that bad. They've been looking absolutely phenomenal so far.
Well, it's been very back and forth. I will agree with you on that. The only map that they really ended with a lot of time in the bank was there on Temple of Anubis. Excuse me. So, moving forward, we're essentially only going to see Control and Escort from here, because since it's the final match, we have to have something that doesn't necessarily end in a tie as that. So we're going to go Control, Escort, Control for our final maps this evening. So it's going to be interesting to see. They did really well on Control despite them being close. I think it was a 2-0 at the end of it, correct? For Lijiang Tower?
Yeah, it was.
Lijiang Elios. It was 2-0.
Elios.
So Pups Academy has a chance to bring it back because they have a chance to get another Control at the end. The question is, whatever the Escort is going to be picked by Kings Row Saints. So it more than likely is going to end up being a map that they're good at. So it's hard to say as we move into Busan Sanctuary. This is going to be the first map for them here on Busan. We've got very similar team compositions, Goats v Goats right now, but Krev is going to get taken out first. Snowbrit following up on Storm as Paragon ends up taking down Dash. Milk is going to end up getting DMAC'd as well as Snowbrit gets the kill on Usalis, and Newt ends up going for the hard reset. We're going to end up seeing the capture by Kings Row Saints and starting their percentage climb, 5% and climbing. Gonna give a shout out to Massively Small asking the question, hey, do you have to be a North American to join? No, you don't. I believe you have to play on the North American server. And a double shatter is gonna come in right after that as they go ahead and start pushing in. The Trans gonna get pulled out by Whale right there as we see Aerosmith coming on to the rally, not able to pull it before dropping to Storm, as well as Paragon. Usalis getting the anti-nade onto Whale, and that's going to give them exactly what they need to push into the objective and take it into their control. Pups Academy pushing up now 4% and climbing to 38%.
I'm just barely saving that Mac. But going into this next engagement, Kings Row have everything online that they need to make this... Well, I say that, but Dash and Milk also have their ultimates, right? Graviton Surge, Diva Bomb combos are about to come out from both sides.
Oh boy, here comes the Graviton Diva Bomb. Oh, Lavender ends up taking down Milk, but the Diva Bomb from Milk gets a double onto Shock and Snowbrit. Usalis ends up taking down Paragon as well, and with all those, it's always a battle of the Q between these teams. It's always a battle of who can push Q the best, and this time around, it ends up being Pups Academy, 40% and climbing right now, surpassing the percentage for Kings Row Saints.
Milk sacrificed himself. He died to the Diva Bomb only because he DMAC'd himself throwing his own Diva Bomb.
Sorry, you were cutting out there a little bit, Dr. Heathen. What were you saying?
Oh, I don't cut out on my end.
Oh, okay. Well, on my end, you did. So, I'll take it that was really good analysis right there. 62% and climbing right now for Pups Academy as the tackle comes in. Storm ends up getting hacked as Lavender swaps over to the Sombra. The Transcendence coming out from Whale. The Shatter comes in from Storm after the Nano, but ends up getting absorbed by Paragon's shield. Just a little slightly off kilter right there. The anti-nade going into the back line though. Paragon finding themselves in a hard position, ends up getting fire struck by Storm, and that's going to force the rest of the Kings Row Saints to go ahead and pull back and wait for Paragon to get back in the fight. 91% and climbing right now as they continue to make their percentage climb on the objective. 99% as we see Shock just barely touch the objective with just a little time left in the bank. 4-man EMP as the Graviton comes out, and Snow Brit is cleaning up. Triple kill off the objective, make that a quad. Milk and Dash get a double of their own, but it's not going to be enough as we see the Kings Row Saints bring it back into their favor, 41% and climbing, but the ult economy is going to be in the advantage of Pups Academy as Usalis ends up getting punched out by Snowbird.
Yeah, Lavender's EMP was kind of their ace in the hole for the engagement. They had spent a few fights just building it up, or I think maybe just one fight it might have been, building it up, and they were able to catch a lot of people with it, and it's going to be really important because they've picked Sombra that they have to do that just about every other fight in order to keep up this aggression.
Oh, here comes the Shatter out from Paragon, but it goes right into Storm Shield. The Graviton comes out as well as the Trans Speed Drop. Here comes the Diva Bomb, ends up catching Snow Brit. Shatter coming out from Storm, ends up catching two, but the EMP in the backline ends up catching four. Storm takes out Whale, but Paragon follows up on Storm. The rally comes out from Arrow, but now we're going to see the rally out from Krev right there, trying to keep everyone up in the fight, and now the Nano's going to go on to Krev as well from Usalis. Now we're going to see a Doomfist come out from Whale as Paragon ends up getting the tackle onto Newt. Overtime ticking away. 99-99 between these two teams. Storm back in the fight as Usalis gets the anti-nade kill onto Whale. EMP back out for Lavender as the Graviton comes out from Snowbrit. Dash getting the double kill though as Snowbrit takes down Storm. It's not going to be enough as Pups Academy continues to hold on. We're going to see Paragon come back into the fight as the Hammond, but it's not going to be enough. Pups Academy walking away with the first win on this match, 100-99%.
That was really close. But really, Lavender's EMP was used really defensively. It caught a lot of people, and it separated off Storm in such a way that he died. But it came out after Dash had used Graviton Surge, and after Storm had used Earth Shatter. Both those tank ultimates landed and got a lot of value, managing to take out so much of Kings Row Saints that they weren't able to come back in that fight, even off of the back of a 4-man EMP. And it's just, the momentum of that was a little bit too slow, and it's really challenging to fix that, and Pups Academy played that super well.
It really worked out for them, but with Lavender coming on the Sombra this time around, they could have a much more difficult time holding on to the objective here at the Mecha base. As we go ahead and see them move into the high ground to start things off, the hack coming almost onto Storm to start things off, but ends up getting interrupted. All these hacks getting caught off as Usalis really keeping tabs on where Lavender is right now. They continue to fight on the high ground, and the objective has been open. Milk's going to go ahead and pull away from the team as the Shatter already coming out from Storm ends up getting Kings Row Saints in the back line. There's a triple coming out for the side of Pups Academy as they go ahead and push back. Milk gets the double kill as they go ahead and reset all of Kings Row Saints. And that's going to give them the objective and 10% and climbing right now for Pups Academy.
But Snowbrit actually made it out with his charge. He's sitting at 80 charge right now. That's just about tied with Dash, which is really, it's really lucky that they made that out. Oh, Shadowlands on 4. That's absolutely huge, actually.
That's a fat shatter. Here comes out the Nano onto Storm, but ends up getting hacked. Was able to get a double kill, though, as they continue to move forward. Krev does have the rally if need be, as they continue to hold on. Milk now having the Diva Bomb, as Usalis ends up taking down Whale. Dash trying to hold on, but ends up getting taken down by Lavender as Paragon moves their way into the objective, trying to claim it for the side of the Kings Row Saints. May end up being successful as Aerosmith ends up taking down Milk. Krebs falling to Snowbrit right there, and Aerosmith and Snowbrit taking down Storm, and Paragon following up on Useless right there at 62%. We're going to see it swap over to the Kings Row Saints.
Yeah, 62% is pretty good, but Kings Row Saints have a lot of ultimates online right now. Both teams have a lot of ultimates online, I should say. And it's going to come down to whoever can get their combo off first and manage to land it aggressively and get momentum in this fight.
All right, well, here comes the Graviton EMP. That's going to be possibly enough to take him out, and it's going to be successful. They use the beat drop as well to solidify as the anti-nade had come out. Paragon getting the triple kill, moving in onto Milk, looking for that quad, and they're going to stagger that out. Paragon slapping a hammer right into the mini Diva's face, and that's going to shut down that push. 38% and climbing right now for the side of the Kings Row Saints. But now we're going to see the ult economy go into the side of Pups Academy's favor. The question is, will they be able to hold on to this, knowing that actually Paragon's coming up on their shatter as well. So here comes the Graviton out from Snowbread, but the Diva Bomb from Milk looking to clay. Oh! Counter shatter comes out and Storm's wailing away with the beat drop. Newt coming in clutch as Krev and Storm clean up Kings Row Saints. The Flail gonna get the final kill onto Lavender. I'm not for certain why there wasn't a team kill in that. Definitely should have been. They're gonna retake the objective now, matching 70-70 for the Kings Row Saints. Now Pups Academy moving their way above, and the fight has already begun. Once again, the Graviton coming out as well as the Nano onto Storm, looking to do some damage. Another shatter coming out from Storm, trying to get in there or at least keep them off the objective as much as possible. Lavender trying to build up that EMP, but is not close enough to it. The Fire Strike goes in, isn't able to land. Paragon coming out with the shatter, ends up taking down Milk as 99%. The only one on the objective right now is Shock, but it may be good for them as Paragon gets the triple kill and turns it back over to the Kings Row Saints' favor, 75% and climbing.
EMP Graviton Surge is online for the side of Kings Row Saints, and they, I'm gonna say, pretty much have this fight in the bag right now. There shouldn't be anything Pups Academy can do against it. They don't have any of their support ultimates ready, and they don't have any of their tank ultimates either.
Well, I think the goal is maybe to hopefully spread out enough, but right now they're in a bad position. That's a 6-man EMP into the Graviton, and that's going to be a team kill, and that is going to be map number 2. Mecha Base gonna go out to the Kings Row Saints.
Pups Academy just lost the ult economy battle a little bit there at the end, not having anything online. I think they were committed to the previous fight, but in the previous fight they committed Nano Boost, they committed Shatter, and all it managed to do was really hold Kings Row Saint at the choke, and eventually Kings Row Saint let the momentum of those ultimates die out and were able to just push on with their own ultimates. It was... Yeah?
That was the goal, though.
It was.
Didn't end up working out in their favor. They hoped that using all those ults would keep them there, but still having Whale with the trans kept them healed, even though Storm and Dash had used the Graviton with the Nano. Normally that would take it out, but you've gotta... I would have rather had that fight on point and hoping that Whale may have used the trans a little earlier than... and right now, Kings Row swapping over to the Dive Goats as Milk ends up getting the kill onto Paragon. Aerosmith follows up on Usalis, and Dash ends up getting the kill onto Aerosmith. It is back and forth right now on the objective. Krev trying to take out Whale as after taking out Snowbrit, and will end up being successful as the DMAC comes in from Milk by Lavender. Krev is able to follow up on Whale there at the end, and that's going to grab the objective for Pups Academy once again there at the end.
Lavender's almost to Diva Bomb though, and maybe we could see another classic 4-man Lavender Diva Bomb dream out of nowhere.
I don't know. We will see who will get the quad this time around. Milk Ore has Diva Bomb, and so does Lavender. It's going to be a battle of the Qs right now as Krev pops out the rally to keep everybody alive. 31% and climbing as the Graviton comes out from Dash. Diva Bomb from Milk. But the trans ends up getting called, as well as the beat drop from Shock and Whale keeps everyone up as much as possible. The Nano coming out onto
the boop!
No! The boop coming out from Shock ends up allowing Lavender's Diva Bomb to land, getting the triple kill and switching the objective into the favor of Kings Row Saints. 52% is the lockout for Pups Academy, 7% and climbing for the Kings Row Saints.
You know, magical quad kill on a Diva Bomb out of nowhere is probably the most absurd thing I've called so far. Oh, but the Shatter!
You did call it, but the Fat Shatter once again coming out from Storm, looking to clean up the objective once again with the help of the rest of Pups Academy, will end up being successful. That's going to be a huge upset right now as they go ahead and swap the point back over into their favor. 32% is the lockout for Kings Row Saints, 54% and climbing for Pups Academy.
And they did not hold that point for long. Immediately turned around. I think they did that. They used a couple of ults, but it was just Shatter Rally, right? And Soundbird?
Yep. I think that was it. Here comes the Graviton as Aerosmith looking to, Diva Bomb coming out from Milk, but it's not going to be enough as Paragon was able to get in and do all that damage. Another team kill rings true. That's going to swap it back over to Kings Row's favor. 37% and climbing to the 77% for Pups Academy.
Yeah, this point keeps flipping over. Nobody's able to really sit on it very long, and if that continues, we're in kind of last fight territory right now.
That we are. Here comes the Shatter. Ends up getting 3, but the counter comes out from Storm. The tackle comes in, but the beat drop coming in from Newt saves the day as the trans comes out from Whale to try to keep the team up. Here comes the rally. Graviton and Nano. The Diva Bomb coming down from Lavender ends up getting a double as Snowbridge ends up taking down Storm as well. It looks like this may not be a swap over at all as just about every ultimate was used. The only ultimate that's online right now though is Storm, and Milk is coming up on the Diva Bomb as well. Shatter coming out from Storm already, all the way in the back line as Duke gets the boop kill onto Paragon. Will this be exactly what they need as Usalis ends up getting the anti-nade onto Aerosmith? That's a triple moving into the objective at 96%. They're going to take the objective back and start moving their way back up the ladder.
Yeah, and this is it. This is the last fight. If Pups loses this, they are out for the season. This is the final match of the Grand Finals.
It's over for them.
Yep.
The season is over for Gold Division regardless of that, but it has been a crazy couple of matches. Shatter ends up getting no one thanks to Storm's hold. Diva Bomb coming out from Milk ends up getting Shock, but Whale holding on right now after taking out Usalis. Snow following up on Storm overtime, taking away right now as the Graviton comes out from Snowbridge. They're trying to hold on. Paragon swapping over to the Hammond to get back to the point quickly as the beat drop comes in from Newt, trying to keep the dream alive as much as possible as Lavender gets the D-Mech onto Milk. Diva Bomb coming out from Lavender ends up taking down Usalis in the backline. Overtime ticking away as it starts to swap back over to Kings Row Saints' favor. And that is going to be it. Lavender going for the hard reset. I'm not exactly for certain
no one can make it.
And Kings Row Saints will take away the victory here on Busan. Whoa.
That's it. That's finals, right? Kings Row Saints have done it.
Kings Row Saints have taken the top spot in the finals. They will walk away as the Gold Division Season 2 champions. But hey, it was one hell of a fight, let me tell you. That was incredibly well played by both teams. Kings Row just able to push it just that little bit further to get the W's in their favor, and they will take away the victory this evening. Go ahead, start blowing up the chat with who y'all are calling out for your player of the match this evening. Dr. Heathen, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Am I allowed to say someone other than Lavender?
Yes.
I'm trying to think about this, and going through that match, Lavender's Diva Bombs were just always the make or break moments, turning entire maps around on their head. All they really needed to win any fight was this man's Diva Bomb and just a boop or Reinhardt to not face his shield the right way. God,
that really is what it came down to, and I have two, because I can't walk away without giving one to Pups Academy. I just can't. And I gotta give it to Usalis. Usalis with the anti-nades the entire time. Just perfect positioning all the time. The nanos were always on point, always able to give Storm that extra little bit that they needed to try to get damage into whatever objective they were pushing into. But I have to then turn it on its head and also give it to Whale as the healer on Kings Row Saints. Their Zenyatta was nuts, having Transcendence just about every fight to make sure that they had that defense every time they went up against a fight with Pups Academy. It was absolutely crazy between these two teams, but Kings Row Saints, you're gonna walk away with the champions this evening. Clean Linens, our leader extraordinaire, giving congrats to the Kings Row Saints in the chat. Everyone giving love to Paragon in the chat. I was not really expecting that. I was really... I mean, I was, but I wasn't. Everyone was giving love for Paragon at the beginning, but I was like, come on, we were seeing a lot of diva plays come out there, but it's definitely all Paragon in the chat.
He landed a true six-man shatter. That's something that's actually really rare to see.
That is true, but I didn't also Storm land a six-man.
Oh wait, am I confused? Busan Mecha Base.
Yeah, that might have been true, but I felt like on Temple of Anubis, Storm landed one.
Did I miss that?
Maybe. Because Storm ended up getting a quintuple. I don't know if he ended up landing the shatter on the sixth person. I just know the sixth person didn't end up getting killed. But nevertheless, incredible teams. I could not have asked for a better gold finals match. It was on the edge of your seat the entire time. Most of the matches literally came down to overtime. Like, that is how close all these matches came. And if you missed it, you'll be able to see it in a couple of minutes when it's created into a video. So, once again, this has been the gold finals here, 4-1. Kings Row Saints walking away with the victory against Pups Academy. If you're interested in more amazing content, you can go ahead, hit that follow button at the top of your stream. Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we've got Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and Grand Masters final matches coming up after their Week 11. Well, actually, I think it's just Platinum and Masters going to Week 11. So,
Diamond Masters, I believe, are the ones going to Week 11.
Diamond Masters, sorry. I knew it was two.
Close.
I knew it was two of those going into a Week 11. But for a majority of the teams, they're going into their finals as well. So be staying tuned for those moving forward. You can also hit that subscribe button there at the top, $4.99 a month, or a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime free subscription will help out our community amazingly as we inch ever closer to ending season 2 and start opening things up for season 3. So be watching out for that. You can also catch all this information and more at theroseleague.org. With that being said, that's it for us here at the Rose League. Catch us tomorrow night. Let's see, who do we got? Do we have a schedule for next week yet? I don't think we have a schedule for week 11 just yet. So we don't know. We don't know yet who's going to be coming out next week, but we know there are going to be some amazing matches. So catch us moving forward. Thanks for watching. I've been Captain Jack.
And I've been Heathen.
And we will see y'all next time.
Come around to you, round to you. You know I was down for you, down for you. Now I'm wishing that I never bow to you, bow to you. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud to hate the sound of all these songs about you, songs about you. You know I was wrong about you, wrong about you. Let you hold on to this cash, let you hold on to. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud of. I'm running out of time to hold you close, running out of time. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I'm running out of time to hold you down. Don't got the time to be down. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I've been zoning. This is why I'll never let you go. Give me a moment, let me show you, let me pull you close. I'll take you back to the start, when all we had was a spark. Just you and I, all we ever needed. You light me up like a flame, this love cannot